Hmm. Hey, what up, hey fans? I'm back. It has been a while since my last video on this, over a year. But I'm officially back with Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm so sorry it took so long. Most of the time I really forgot. Other times, you know. I must plan to catch up on my reviews after this, but I'm gonna just continue watching World Trigger. Let's get past the next arc and complete season 1. And just read the manga up to the most recent arc. Then watch season 2 and 3 when I have the time. So, I'm no Trigger's given us some type of stage in Jump Buster. So, completing seasons 1, 2, and 3 before Jump Buster might be a good idea, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm reviewing the first part of the Battle City arc. Now, I actually already covered this arc in the manga. So, I covered the manga version of the arc. So, head over to Super Jump, just look for to give it a watch if you're interested. Because this is going to be a 2-part video due to the anime having a bit of a fill arc in between the virtual world arc. Well, the virtual world arc is controversial due to its placement in the story in between the Battle City arc. So, yeah, but I won't be calling this part 1. I'll be calling part 2 Battle City Finals. The finals arc. So, well, there's there actually is a addition in the arc, in the part 2 of the arc, that's actually like, which I'll talk about, hopefully remember to. But I'm actually review it's going to take a while to get there. I was planning to do the English dub, but fuck it, I'm not gonna. It's gonna take too long, because I just hard for me to get past Duel Monsters' English dub. Not because it's bad, because of the rules. It's just unbearable to get through now. So outdated. And I was thinking about something too. If Yu-Gi-Oh got a remake, a new adaptation, which is we're rumored to get a reboot, not a remake. I'm all for a reboot actually, even though some people not gonna be that in the manga. I'm actually interested to see the story of Yu-Gi-Oh in a new way. See the Duel Monsters characters in a brand new way. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool. But I think the adaptation would work too. And here's an idea how I can make money, because Konami cares about money. Great merchandise based on the original series for older fans. Those who actually want to see the entire manga adapted faithfully. And those who want to see the manga adapted pretty faithfully. No filler and stuff. So, yeah. Be really cool. Sell merchandise or sell anniversary cards. So, since, I don't know, there's still no fucking Rush Tour here. Yeah, Rush Tour has been out since like 2020. I think. My point. It was over back in 2020 we got that. It just pisses me. Like, Japan got it in 2020 when Sevens came out. And yet, to this day, 2025, no sign of Rush Tour in the West, other than digital games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. What's funny is, there's some reason delaying dubs as well. Not just Yu-Gi-Oh! Digimon as well. The dubs are taking an awful long time to come out for some reason. Why? Why is that? I don't understand. Why is it... Can't we do the busyness? Why is it so hard just to get the dubs out on time? Sure, I understand the recording process and stuff, but you can do it months in advance. I'm just saying. Why is it taking this long, way long, before the dub comes out? Like, the dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush came out just not months after the anime's conclusion in Japan. Which I will get back to reviewing, don't worry. I actually plan to do it pretty soon. It just frustrates me. And what's worse, the Go Rush dub. It's crap. Not typical cheesism. The voice acting just doesn't work with the characters. Yuhi especially, it's just not right. He's goofy, yes, as when he was younger. He was more of a dummy when he was young, pre-time skip. But starting in season 2, he's a lot more intelligent. I just don't... I'm not... No slam against the actor. But I just don't think he works with Yuhi. Doesn't sound right. And hearing Yuna's voice as well, yeah, I don't like it either. They just don't suit each other. Other than the usual voice actors coming... And then the voice cast coming back from Sevens, like Japan did for the counterparts. You know? Just so many new actors, bringing new characters. Ain't that great? Imagine Magus, think about it, doesn't make a great Yuga. He's just too annoying as a character. Like, you can easily tone down his performance. It's just high and obnoxious for no reason. No examples. I'm not seeing Haikyuu's dub. Which, speaking of which, by the way, turns out the dub is not streaming anywhere. Huh? I ain't confused. I'm sure it's back on Netflix now, but before it left Netflix originally years ago, it had the dub with it. I'm confused. Why are they now just bringing back the dub to it? They just... Oh, this is confusing. It's not great. But luckily, 2026 is going to be great for some new anime coming out. We got Hell's Paradise Season 2. Jujutsu Kaisen's Cullen Game Arc. And we got Oshinoko Season 3. Vigilante Season 2. So, I'm really excited for those. And some of the new stuff coming out, High School Kiminguri. I'm really curious to see how good it is. Never experienced the original. I just hope it's not like on that stupid YouTube channel. Because a week limited is stupid. Not even streaming elsewhere, but... Get my point. We also got the Prison All-Star remake. While making it CGI is not good, it could be good. The story, how it does the story, faithfully be better. Speaking of which, you can watch Prison All-Star now on Crunchyroll UK, and the arcs are split up on Crunchyroll, like arc 1 to arc 1 to 6, I think. So go from the original Prison All-Star to Prison All-Star Season 2. So that could work. I'm excited for that. But anyway, enough dilly-dallying. Let's get to the review. It's been a while. I started watching not too long after my review on on Dungeon Dice Monsters. I kind of forgot to continue. So, oh yeah, it was 12 episodes left. I was on episode 85, and the arc ended on episode 97. Granted, it is a long story arc. So, yeah. And I actually do want to watch more World Trigger, see more of the arc put involved, learn about its powers and stuff. So, yeah. Let's get into the start of the story, kind of. I think I mentioned a bit about this in the review on Dungeon Dice Monsters, but the first 2 episodes of the arc isn't exactly part of the arc. Well, it's similar to the first episode of the anime, being a loose adaptation of specific events. Like Yugi meets Kaiba for the first time, Yugi versus Kaiba and Death Tea. Those 2 story arcs were adapted together in that episode. And then the Bakura's introduction, 2 episodes. The introduction episode of Bakura was loosely adapted to the Monster World arc. So, and this is a loose adaptation of the Dungeon Dice Monsters arc. So, for some reason, they decided to split the arc up and rework it into that part of the Battle City arc. Why? Why exactly? Was it because it's too dark? God. I understand censorship at the time because TV standards are different these days. Understand that. But why change details of specific arcs? Why weren't anime ever faithful to the manga so the manga source material at the time? Why they always go sure they just always need to make sure to have it can conclude the manga, not wait a specific amount of time to adapt it. Even though One Piece actually started its manga run in 1997, didn't get an anime until 1999. Yet it caught up around the end of Logtown, even though that had a bunch of filler doing it. Yeah, the whole scenes with the crew, Spawn and Logtown, most of it anyway, is filler. Only things that count is Zoro and Luffy's Zoro get a sword and a bit of Luffy's portion, minus the bar. Actually are part of the manga. But the rest of the crew, including how Uso got his goggles, but not in the manga. I think that gets explained away in Logtown, in Reverse Mountain, so I'm gonna give that a read sometime. So, yeah, anyway. Yugi after the events of Dungeon Dice, after the events of the previous, not Dungeon Dice, but after the events of Duel's Kingdom, Yugi decided, because people are up to this million puzzle, Yugi races the strand with a chain. But Yugi ends up getting his puzzle stolen by a fake fortune teller. I guess say it like that. A fortune teller. Yugi ends up chasing after him in an abandoned warehouse. Where Yugi ends up forcing to duel him. Yugi's able to figure out that the one under the hood is Keith Howard, Bandit Keith. So yeah, this is his only reappearance in the story. This is kind of a spell about Lose Adaptation Dungeon Dice Monsters. So if you don't know, in the manga, Bandit Keith died. Killed by Pegasus. So both he and Pegasus survived in the other. I don't know why, but there's actually one good fellow arc in this series. And that's going to take me a while to get to. Just going to beat the next arc and Battle Part 2. Then we'll get there. So it's soon revealed that Keith is under control of a mysterious person. And that's a little help, enormous help from Bakura, Yami Bakura. That's regular Bakura, is going to be regular Bakura to help Yugi out after the duel. The puzzle shining to pieces. Bakura takes the opportunity to use a big move called Mind Parasite to replace his assets inside a piece of the Millennium Puzzle. So that's something that will happen later. And Yugi's friends managed to help him out of the fire. So yeah. Anyway, an event happens when Kaiba is invited to the museum by Egyptian woman Shizu Ishtar. And it turns out she has a Millennium item as well, the Millennium Talk. In Japanese, Talk means necklace. I think it means that in Egyptian. But the dub just simply calls it Millennium Necklace, not bothering to educate on Egyptian names. That kind of bugs me. You see, there's a tablet showing a battle between the nameless fowl and his traitorous servant. And shockingly, the servant looks like Kaiba, and the monster he wields is a blue-eyed white dragon. Plus, in his face, the nameless fowl looks like Yugi, and the monster he uses is the Black Magician, as he's known as Japan, or Dark Magician in the West. For some reason, the Crunchyroll subs. Yes, you can officially watch it in Japanese. I mentioned this before. For some reason, the official English sub by Crunchyroll refer to the monsters by their English names, when the characters' names are still played by their Japanese names. I don't understand that. They thought we wouldn't be familiar with them. Oh, this is weird. Those who got the English though will probably get confused by the new name, by the different names. Never mind. 5,000 years ago, those two beings fought using a shadow game, bringing monsters to life. No one knows the truth of that battle. So, yeah. So I just got about sick. Anyway, Streets of Booms, can I buy that? There's a group in the city called Ghouls stealing rare cards. Well, the leader has something called an Egyptian God card. There are 3 in total. Slifer the Sky Dragon, Obelisk the Tormentor, and the Winged Dragon of Ra. I don't know the Japanese names because they're stupid subs. 2 women in possession of this leader. Turns out is the one that's Joe Keith. But she managed to snag 1 Obelisk the Tormentor and gives it to Kaiba. Then he'll hold a tournament to gather the cards. You know, Kaiba gets eagle. Kaiba gets fascinated about his power. He wants all the cards. So he passes out that tournament. As I said, that tournament. Meanwhile, sometime later, Yami Yugi and Anzu are on a date, kind of. And Yugi asks Anzu to help out here at the south. Ask her to help him. And they had a whole thing bed together. Of course, there's a duel. After Anzu's dance session, there's a duel that happens during this portion. It's complete filler, I think. I realized this last one, the manga. I get check out my review on the manga, but some of the stuff I mentioned, can't remember much about it now. Yugi. Yami, Yugi, and Anzu enter the museum, where they meet a Shizu, reveals to them that Yami Yugi is the spirit of the nameless pharaoh who existed 5,000 years ago. And warns Yugi about the ghouls and stuff. Now the Egyptian cards must be gathered. And believes that he will do it. And he's necessary to recover the lost memories. So after that, the two ended up running to Mai, who was basically actually the rulers were notified to go around at specific times on the location of that. Because Yugi and Anzu didn't know that. Just because it kind of appears on screen, but also like a freaking helicopter. Like he just standing up like this. It's just so Kaiba. And I like Takahashi's designs for these characters. Like with the freaking coats. How do they always manage to stick out like that? How do the jackets manage to stick out like that? I'm curious. It's a cool visual design though. I admit it's pretty visually cool. Thumbs up for Takahashi. May he rest in peace. That news hit me hard too. When it happened, I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, granted, which wasn't that involved with. But it was got me into the Yu-Gi-Oh! franchise. and I enjoy reading the manga when I get before the news of her passing. That really hit me hard. Well, he died. Kind of died a hero. Anyway, what was it? Yes. Taiwan announces the new tournament called Battle City, and use a new. And duels must have a specific device to enter, and reveals his complete version, the new version of the dual disc. Due to the prototype. So yes, cool. Junichi and Honda find out about this. Well, Joji decided to enter. So they all go grab a new new dual disc. Once they find out Shizuka is going to be having her eye surgery soon, which is being in Duel's Kingdom, and the money match will be a success, so the treatment got paid for. So yeah. I kind of wish we got more focus on Junichi's family dynamic. Like in the manga, we did get a glimpse of it in one chapter, his home life. So there's no really detail in the anime. So why did his mother leave him behind? Did his father somehow give him custody? I don't know. That sadly never got explained in the manga. And I will be reviewing the final arc pretty soon in the manga. So, and I know that's kind of rushed by the last half. But there are two reasons why, which I'll get to when I review that arc in the manga. When I review that manga arc. So let's go to super chat for that. Anyway. Junichi finds out that kind of thinks so low of him. They give him 1-star ranking. This way. But it turns out the shopkeep is actually a rare hunter. And changes Junichi's qualifications to begin saying like it was a mistake and stuff. So do this. I mean, Junichi's on his way to the hospital. To see his sister, to make sure his sister's okay. And to be with her when she has the surgery. When he's ambushed by some ghouls. I don't say rare hunter, like, you know what I mean. He ends up in a duel. Junichi was doing well, learning a new system, doing the new rules of the duel system. Ends up only to beat it when somehow the duel he was doing had Exodia. That's impossible. Exodia is gone, washed away. So Junichi also lost his red-eyed black dragon. So I don't think that after hearing about the situation, again go look for Junichi now. I don't know how to find him, and starts sensing him after he's feeling down. Junichi finally arrives at the hospital for his sister Shizuka, and we get a glimpse of Junichi's mother for the first time, who only appears in this episode. Again, I really wish the manga focused a lot more on Junichi's home life. We only saw a bit of it in one chapter, as I said. I think it appears in... No, it doesn't. Oh, something I learned, actually. Did you know Sugaroku's dub voice was provided by Wayne Grayson? I'm not kidding. Well, not originally, I know. It was originally a different voice actor, but that actor eventually passed away after GX. Got his last appearance. Before Bonds Beyond Time, during 5 Days Run. Well, after 5 days specifically. So that's when Wayne Grayson took over permanently as the character of all his appearances after. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't even know that. Thumbs up for how talented he is. I actually should rewatch Bonds Beyond Time again. I actually watched it a bit in Japanese a while ago. Forgot much about it now. I remember more about the dub. So, yeah. And well, even though it's a crossover movie, it's still going to be part of my Yu-Gi-Oh! By D's review since it's actually canon-ish. Yeah, it's kind of complicated with its canon. I'll get into my book. I'll talk about that when I eventually review it. There's just a lot of issues with its canon to be. A character when the film appears in 5Ds. Anyway, you know, you know, after Alvin Sword, she got surgery with also success. So, and Battle City arrives. All I do is, all I do about the city. And the first duel of Battle City goes to Yugi. As well, Ian George ended up buying that Red Hunter, the girl who took the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Yugi challenges him to a duel. Of course, the girl cheats, and it turns out he has copies of Exodia. They're not real. He kind of cheated. But Yugi won for and managed to win. Yugi really managed to win, even without his news card. So yeah, he managed to win the card back, but Joshi won't take it back, saying he wants to earn it back. He wants to prove he's a true duelist first. By being Yugi, you'll truly become you'll officially be recognized as a true duelist. So get that card back. It's essential. That way, that's why he's gonna grow up. Do about Yugi's help about Battle City. So let's go. Now, changing the manga is that Bakura was there doing half of a few of the stools Janochi goes through. Now, Bakura is there doing that portion. Speaking of which, Bakura's been recast. In the Duelist Kingdom arc, he was playing Yo Inoue, and she was alright. But now the character is played by a legend in the voice acting industry, Rika Matsumoto. One of them played Satoshi, aka Ash Ketchum, in Pokemon. Also with Dario in Background Sentai Boom Boom Boom! Sorry. I just like that character. He's a fun character. I'm not too familiar with Japanese Satoshi, since I'm not watching Japanese, but Ratnap, YouTuber Ratnap Talks Anime, I think he's called, recently started a new series comparing the Japanese version of Pokemon to what 4Kids changed when they dubbed it. He's only got one video up right now. He's already done comparison videos of what was changed between the Japanese and English versions, with One Piece and briefly Dragon Ball the Ocean dub, with the first saga and the movies. So if you're interested, go check them out. It's fascinating to know. I just want to see what was changed. And I am curious to see how bad the 4Kids dub is. But it's not officially anywhere online. But now I've seen a lot more of the anime than I did last time. But I find an episode, one that I'll be able to watch through it to see how bad it is. Anyway. In multiple duels for Battle City, Yugi's duels are more plot progression, while Jinochi is more his character growth. Jinochi's first duel was against Esperoba, a claimed psychic. Jinochi's not stupid most of the time. He didn't believe him, but ended up starting believing him until he got one card wrong. And yeah, I forgot to mention, there's an anti-rule. You lose a duel, you have to give up a rare card. So Jinochi defeats Roba. Defeats Esperoba. They actually kept his name. And the respect. It's a good duel, by the way. I'm not going much detail about it, but I recommend you go look it up. It is a great duel and shows Jinochi's really going as a duelist. Because he was a bit of an idiot, messed up with a tribute summoning thing. And I realised in Japan, in Japanese they say advanced summon. The dub initially called it sacrificing, up until Zaxo when they started calling it tribute summoning. I don't know why it took them 3 seasons to change that. Speaking of Zaxo, it has a lost dub. That's a lost dub that had a different cast, which I think Johnny on Bosch was cast as Yuma. The dub would be a little more favorable to the Japanese version. We don't know. There's only the intro, which I cannot find anymore, and one small clip from the first duel. From Yuma vs. Shark. So, a little tough there. So, and I doubt we'll ever get official release. Hopefully one day, like how the last Sailor Moon pilot came out, was found, we'll find this lot. We'll actually get to see this lost dub of the series, and it's only just one episode either. They've done quite a few episodes, but I can't remember how many. So hopefully we get there as soon as it one day. But anyway, Yugi's duels. When he ends up doing a minus. His next duel is against a man named Pandora, who also uses Doubt Magician. Guys like to believe his dead wife, that the man whose name is Marek, could bring his dead wife back. So yeah, Akira is defeated and actually killed by Marek. And we'll go over all Jinochi's duels. But Jinochi's second duel, he has total 3 duels throughout this arc before the Battle City portion. He's a duel in Insect Haga. Managed to beat that cheating bastard. Getting his red card. So the red cards now Jinochi has is Jinzo, or Psycho Shaka in Japanese, and Insect Queen. Jinzo's the most useful card, actually. It can nullify traps. So, it nullifies trap cards. So, Jinzo. So, Yugi's, I think the Pan Duel to King second, actually, after Yugi's first aggression duel was against the Tech minus puppet controlled by Marek. As a who has the Egyptian guard Slifer. You Kaiba ends up watching this duel as well because he wants to see what guard in action. Now Yugi managed to win the duel and gain the card. Kaiba vows to take down Yugi and get all the cards. We also find out that Marek is actually falling with Marek Ishtar, Shizu's brother. And he has a loyal servant node, Rashido. Or Odeon in the dub. I don't know why they changed his name, when Marek and Shizu's name stayed the exact same. It's just weird. Oh well. It's Shizu and Marek. Yeah. And Marek has an identity of the Millennium World. It's able to control people's minds. I mean, he tries to make Yugi suffer by going after his friends. So, yeah. Marek ends up teaming up with Yami Bakura. Marek pretends to be an ally under a false name. We get close to them and stuff. Also, that means Bakura is temporarily in the hospital for a while. Regular Bakura is. So, Jinochi gets one last duel against Kaji. Okay, I think that's his name. Mako Tsunami in the English dub. It's a really cool duel. But a duel out of respect. No underhanded tactics this time. Because literally nearly every duel Jinochi goes through always had people play unfair against him. But I think it's a tactic that works a lot. Works because it Joji knows what it's like to do underhanded tactics. So he was a bit of a jerk prior, a bit of a kind of was a bit of a jerk prior. So he was pretty underhanded in type techniques. But now he's different. So it shows him overcoming those cheetahs and managed to win, proving Jiro to be skilled. Anyway, so Marek ends up having in ends up kidnapping Jinochi and Anzu on the capture. They also eventually catch Mokuba as well. Forcing Yuki and Kaiba to work together for a duel against a first and only tag duel in the story. In the canon material specifically. So yeah. I've actually managed to come right away to work together. They defeat those two and send them away to hell. Of course they don't die because they're bad guys, so of course they have a way to. So hey, Yugi and meanwhile, Honda is being chased by those ghouls and they're taking Shizuka with him to protect her. They end up being helped by Ryuji, who ends up here and there. I can't remember if he was in the manga or not at this point of the story. So three months get a belt from Mai. I'll be passing by. Meanwhile, Yugi and Kaiba arrive at the beach. They have Mokuba captive. Anzu strapped in a chair. With a team to go on her, if Yugi doesn't participate in this dangerous life or death duel. And she's being brainwashed. And now Yugi has a brainwashed Jinochi. These are one of the best duels in the arc. Loser ends up drowning. He's one of the best duels ever. Yeah, Yugi managed to come. Sorry. So our four other characters arrive at the scenes. Not without much context. But eventually Yugi managed to get Jinochi to break free. Managed to save each other. It's one of the best moments. It's one of the best moments in the arc. Both manga and anime. And honestly, 4Kids kept that intact. Not joking. They didn't censor any death there. I mean, there'll be half of the censored death. They could just say set to the shadow realm and turn the water purple or it's black. Like, seriously, I'm surprised they didn't do that. Like, think about it. Similar to what they did in the roof duel, in the tag duel earlier. They could have turned the water specific by the dogs more blackish purple to implicate shadows. So yeah, match overcome that. I'll teach on Marek once for all. The reason Marek's doing this is because he wants to kill the Pharaoh and his host, Yugi. So they get ahead to the final location of Battle City. Of course, there's a filler duel between Mai and someone who is in love with her. It's a whole thing, it's filler. But it's supposed to show how Jinochi and Mai like each other, but isn't Mai older? I think she was 18 actually. How old is Mai in the series? I've never actually questioned that. I never actually questioned how old Mai is. I mean, Mai got a pretty good story focus in a filler arc early on. So, yeah, that's what I liked about that arc. Even though, like I hated, at least it gave Mai some fun. I mean, Mai act like one of the main characters here. It was a good arc. Alright, arrived at the location for the Battle City Finals. The remaining 8 duelists. Yugi Muto, Katsuya Janochi, Michael Jaku, Meg Ishita, Namu as Marit's gone under, as Bushido is pretending to be him, and a mysterious masked woman. It's pretty obvious who it is, but so yeah, Shizu. Also, Ryo Bakura. Yep, or simply Yami Bakura, which can be Bakura. Yes, no, Ryo Bakura has no clue what's going on. So, because we see that Yami Bakura had a duel, a shallow duel against Bones. I don't know his Japanese name, I forgot it. And his currently has sent straight to the underworld, never to be seen again. Well, I don't know what happened to the croonies in the manga because they didn't appear. Bones is actually dead, both manga and anime. A weird little correct connection too. You know, Wayne Grayson plays Janochi in English dub, aka Joey Wheeler, portrayed the role of Cyrus Truesdale or the Sho Marufuji, or that's his name, in GX. Coincidentally, the Japanese voice also played the role of Bones in Duel Monsters. Yeah, it's a weird coincidence. Weird coincidence, but cool. So that begins this. So it'll take the time, and then eventually begin the final round. Let's begin the finals before, basically the final round before heading to the finals. Is it the semi-finals? First up is Yugi versus Bakura. Yugi not being stupid. It calls Bakura out, meaning he's being his truth to everyone that he's still in possession of the Millennium Ring. We do a really cool duel between the two, and this is why I like Rika Matsumoto's performance of Kelda Bear. She just works for the character. Sa! Yugi! She's saying she does better. Not really either way. I just haven't seen much work she's in, so I can't really comment on that. So I'm not gonna say anything bad. So Yugi, Yugi managed to defeat Bakura because Bakura tried to win using dirty hand entanglements, but Bakura did not want that. You know, not the back when fair square, but because he needs the bot, still needs his host. Because he's got some plans. So yeah, Bakura is now unconscious. Because she's, of course, Anzu still has a little bit of hypnotism inside of her. So a little bit of hypnotism inside of her. As now she possesses Bakura's Millennium Ring for now. Without even knowing. So, round 2, well, is Janochi versus Marek, aka Bushido. That's a really good duel between the characters. We should learn Bushido's backstory. He was adopted. He was taken in by the Ishita family. Also, by Marek, she is his mother, who was a kind person. The father was not. He didn't have any heirs. But actually, she gave birth to 2 children, Shizu and Marek. He is a part, of course. And she died after giving birth to Marek. She does wish she'd be a good big brother to Marek. So she still loved him. I like that. His father's cool. The father's cool, but their mother really loved Bushido like her own son. And Marek does treat Bushido like a big brother. What a good moment. Actually, Marek has to go for a type of ceremony for a tattoo. Who to keep as he gets a tattoo on his back to share the secrets of the Pharaoh. Okay. And that ends up giving away to something that will get explanation a little bit later. See this? But she decides to carve tattoo on his own face. So that Matt's not going for this pain alone. Should have a good bond. Because Shisha doesn't get much focus in this part. Because this is Bushido's backstory. So. You know. So we don't get much of what happened. Anyway. Bushido's forced. Barrack basically tells Bushido to play a big copy of Evangelion Raw. Even though one time collect Jinochi lost. So Bushido was forced to play it. And God's wrath occurs. Locking both him and Jinochi out. Means everyone that he's not Marek. Jinochi suspected that before too, so did Yugi. Though the way he do was respectful. So what's her if Marek really was a good person, why did he turn such an ass? To do such horrible things. Well, we learn that in a bit. I mean, unconscious. Jinochi ends up having a dream about his friends. Imagine helping win out. Mai's also there alongside Shizuka. Now Jinochi to win by it's a whole thing, okay. Bushido's unconscious, but ends up waking some dark side of Marek, his other personality, as they call it, a more darker side to the guy. One was more ruthless and doesn't care about anything, was only destruction. I know reason 4 kids like this, like to censor him doing this. Even though it adds to his creep as an intimidating villain. Also, I saw this video the other day about Bakura, how the anime kind of squandered him due to adapting that did in the Duelist portion of the story, but also elements of the previous manga, previous stories. Yeah, I agree with that. That's why remake be more faithful. Well, next up, like say, season 1 could be focused on the. You could do a season bit. Season 1 would just be the school arc, school up to Death Tea, and Monster World, because the magic could. Because well, they managed to get that down. Was the stuff that wasn't adapted, so it could be a little more than 26. So you get what I mean. Anyway, Yugi. The start half is dangerous. I want to kill Rashid because Rashid's responsible for keeping him oppressed. That makes me stop. Next door is Marek versus Mai. Jinoji says I'm a story and Mai asked if she was in the dream too. Said that she probably wasn't because she was the adult and stuff. Because she was embarrassed to say that because he liked her. But he's an idiot for saying that because that makes her feel like she's not a important friend to him. Besides, let her duel her own. Mistake. Mike is the best in the duel. More Marek's shadow game tactics. Mike actually used the matches grasp the wind dragon and roll, but ends up having an effect that causes it to be a spear. Only those who know the chant know the hieroglyphics get some of it. And Marek does and defeats Mai. Ends up sending her mind somewhere else for a lot of making it gone. But still be unconscious now. Sad. But they have to do she's gonna stay to watch over Mai. Joshi does confess to Mai before the shadow thing about the truth. He did see her. Suddenly it's the final the next duel. Kyra versus Ishizu. She reveals that she and Marek are siblings. And actually, Shizu ends up trying using Nanya power to try win the duel because she wants to save her brother. She doesn't do what Sing she has before. And it seems to be working, but it seems about the ancient power of the Kaiba's ancestor and the power of the Millennium Rod makes Kyra summon blue eyes instead of triggering objects to summon blue eyes. Well, with the spell and stuff. Because Shizu had a trap card called Last Held by a Tribute, which destroys any tribute monster that attacks. So it does not apply to blue eyes until someone with spell, not a tribute. Anyway, Shizu lost. Only 4 people left in the finals. At the end, Shizu ends up being a pass to them. That tattoo carving awoke that dark side of Mac. When Mac was old enough, he wanted to see the outside. Shizu relented. See the amazing outside. That's when he ended up meeting Shadi. Wanting at the Pharaoh's resurrection. Anyway, they found out and beat up Bushido. About the waking up Mark's dark side. He even grabs the pandemonium one and is like killing his own father. It's more brutal in the manga. He tries to kill Bushido too to keep his dark side going on forever. But Bushido's carpets end up seeing the darkness away. And you know Mark's evil. When Bushido was hit by the lightning, you saw his reaction. And shock. Because he really thought Bushido would be able to handle the power because he trusted him. No, because his own mistake hurt his friend, his brother. That's a really nice little detail. That dark power has been sealed inside Mark forever. But now with Bushido unconscious, he's free to walk about. He just... Anyway, hypnotized answer is that given in the manual back to Bakura, who challenges Yami Barrett to a duel. Yami Bakura versus Yami Marek with help of regular Yamaric. Really cool duel, but Ra ends up turning out of another effect. A one-turn kill. Basically, using a spell card to summon and having your life points down just by having one to give Ra, or use it as attack points. And it can attack instantly as soon as it's summoned. Yami Bakura is defeated. And regular Marek sent off to somewhere else, wherever. Who knows when. But Yami Bakura will be back. And as his mind parasite still has a consciousness inside the Palladium puzzle. So, as he tells Yugi, who didn't really see much of the duel, but that he's next. Kyra somehow was able to read hieroglyphics now as well. Mostly because the reason Harmonium world as well. That woke in that. Possibly making Kyra's soul reincarnation of that priest. Reborn as Seto Kaiba. So the destination next is Alcatraz Island. In Japan. Not the one with the prison on. That's the reason. A place where a new tower stands. Where all the weapons of Guzaburo Kaiba will take it down. That's where the finals will be held. And in the arc, episode 97. Of course, we got the Virtual World arc next, which is Fella. But the Fella does a good job of brushing out the Kaiba story that Kaiba's backstory that was revealed in the manga during the Death T arc. So they have to find a way to tell it somewhere. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Return my content, please on that button. Once you want to subscribe, I'll let you know the always comes and I'll see you guys next time for another video. Kill Phoenix out.